So AI is an amazing tool that, if used properly, can significantly increase your VA disability claim strength. But let's be honest, most veterans, because it is new, don't understand it and use it as nothing more than a glorified Google. So this presentation, we're going to talk about what AI is and what it is not, and we're going to lay the foundation for a huge series that I'm getting ready to build. So make sure that you stick till the end so that you can see the over 10 videos that we're going to build that talks about AI, that takes you from a beginning user to a more advanced user so that you can use this tool well to your advantage. So with that said, let's roll. So before we start, a little disclaimer, as in this video is all videos. I am not a veteran service officer, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not an accredited veteran agent. So I do not represent the VA, nor am I affiliated with the VA, and I don't manage or file VA claims. I teach veterans the process so they can better understand it, so that they can research, gather, and organize to build strong VA disability claims to get the ratings that they deserve. You're responsible for your own claim. No one else is. So please make sure that you learn and create a solid process so that you can get your ratings. You can get the ratings that you deserve. And the content does not replace professional advice. This video and all videos are for educational purposes. So what is AI? AI, most people use AI, and in this case, when I talk about AI, we're going to talk about Chat GPT, or if I shorten it and just say Chat or GPT, right? There's a lot of different AI platforms on the market. But again, for this video, in this entire series, we're going to talk about Chat GPT. And most people use it, let's just be honest, as a glorified Google. Hey, Chat, what time is it in Sydney, Australia? What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? All the basic stuff that you can Google is what people use. However, what we are going to do in this whole entire series is take you from wanting to know the weather to breaking down and building VA claims that give you a chance to win. So what is it? AI or chat is a great tool for helping to organize your thoughts. A lot of times, especially when we deal with claims, our thoughts are all over the place, especially if we're making more than one claim at a time. You can get very disorganized. So ChatGPT does a great job at helping you organize those. It's also great at breaking down complex issues in a very simple manner. So a lot of times, if I get an MRI back and it's all in big language, I'll drop it in there and just simply ask it to break down, either a section or, hey, can you break this MRI I had done on my neck and back in very plain layman terms or in simple English so I can understand it. And what it does is it will analyze the document and it will break it down and it will tell you, okay, when it's saying this, it just simply means this. And you're like, oh, okay. Because if not, you go in and you type in, some complex term into Google, you're going to get a complex answer. And while they try to break it down, a lot of times you just leave them more confused. Like, hey, am I going to die? Am I going to be, paralyzed for life? And it's like, no, it's just simply telling you that, where the nerve comes out, it's rubbing on it. And you're like, oh, wow. Wish they would have told me that. So it's great for tasks like that. It's great for identifying gaps in your claim. So we'll talk about as we go on, how you can load your documents in there, have it analyze it from a rater's perspective or the VA's perspective, along with, analyzing federal law and everything that you need. And it will go through and it will come back and tell you, here's where you're missing. Here's where you may want to strengthen it. So we're going to talk about that. And then helping you to communicate clearly. So we're going to do a video on how to use ChatGPT to help you write your personal statement and your Nexus draft statement that you can give to your provider, or line everything out in there, all the pertinent medical information that your uh, medical provider is supposed to be looking at. So when you go give him your Nexus letter and you give him the package, you can give him either the request letter that outlines, again, it's organizing your thoughts, but it's also organizing your conditions, your dates, your events, everything that you put in there. It can put into a nice, neat document for your provider to look at. So they're not spending hours going through documents looking at trying to make sure that the Nexus letter is good, because there's nothing worse than getting a Nexus letter back that doesn't have what you need in it that's really going to strengthen your claim. But what is AI, or what AI is not, right? It's not a doctor. It's not a rater. It's not a replacement for medical advice. It's not really even a replacement for a VSO, and we'll talk about that later. And it's not a magic approval button, right? What AI is it's a language predictor. So what it does really good at is for you to be able to put in, here's, 6 or 7 pieces of my medical evidence, and it can go in and analyze it. Well, it's making a prediction on how you should feel based on the evidence that it has, and understanding and researching, the entire internet. So if you have knee issues and you go in there, it's going to assume that you have, these certain issues, with your knee. So it's a predictor tool. But it's also really good at, again, explaining things in very simple terms and being able to communicate. So I use this quite frequently in emails, because I may get long-winded in an email, or I might get fired up in an email. So what I can do is I can take that, type the entire email out, and drop it in Chat GPT, and either tell it, hey, make this short and concise, or you know, soften this up a little bit so I don't sound so pissed. Me and Chat have many conversations. I'm very honest with it, right? So you don't have to go in there, and I always tell them please and thank you. That's just kind of how I am. But there are plenty of times that I'll go in there and go, hey, like, I need you to soften this because here's my objective and what I wanted to do. Because the goal is with ChatGPT or any AI is you have to tell it what you want it to do. So, and I'm very honest. I have, just like I'm talking to you when I talk to ChatGPT, because I want to make sure that it understands what I'm looking for, so I don't have to go through, 5 or 6 different iterations. But again, it doesn't matter if you use ChatGPT, a VSO, a lawyer, a veteran, accredited claims agent, or you go at it yourself. You must have 3 things, all 3 things, in order to get the VA to grant 1, a service connection, and then 2, grant you a percentage. 1, you must have a current diagnosis. 2, you must have current symptoms. And 3, you must have a nexus to a military in-service event, injury, illness, or condition. So whether your Chat GPT game is on point and you could teach, at a doctorate level class, it's not going to matter if you provide the most beautiful, personal statement and nexus letter and all your information, if you're missing current symptoms, or if you're missing a nexus, or you're missing a current diagnosis. You miss one of those 3 things, right? The VA will deny your claim. So it is important that you understand that. And it is important that you understand the entire claims process. So don't just jump in and go, hey, I want to learn ChatGPT. I start messing around with it. I'm playing with it. But I don't understand the claims process. So I don't know what the VA needs. I don't know how the VA is going to rate me. I don't understand the compensation and pension exam, or this disability benefits questionnaire that you're going to keep referring to. Like, I don't know what any of that is, but I've got great results from ChatGPT. So it's important to go back to watch our videos that we've done before, especially episodes 6, 7, and 8, where we talk about how to do the appropriate research before you really even dive into your claim, so that you can understand what the condition is. You can understand how the VA is going to rate you per federal law and the Code of Federal Regulations, so you know what symptoms that they need. You know how they're going to highlight, and they're going to rate you on the severity, the frequency, and the intensity and the impact of those symptoms. Then you can go through and you can learn how to go out and gather the pertinent medical information you need, because ChatGPT will tell you here's what you need, but you have to go do the legwork. So by going out and understanding, like, okay, I have to go gather it. What am I gathering? If I don't need to submit 200 pages of evidence when there's only 20, then I need to take, I have to understand what pertinent is. And then probably one of the most important is how to organize it in a way that tells your story, highlighting date, doctor, one or two sentences, one or two or three or four symptoms that are in your report. And then I stack them chronologically, oldest to newest, newest to oldest. And then I strategically organize my claims so that when I go to a VSO or I upload it myself, I have my Nexus letter, my personal statement, any imaging or tests or anything that I've got, and then all my medical evidence that, again, is chronologically placed. Again, that is one of the most important things that you can do to build a claim versus going out and I just shove 300 pieces of evidence because ChatGPT says, hey, this will help your claim or this will strengthen your claim. And you're like, oh, it's a great idea. And it makes no sense. And again, if the VA is pushing 3 million claims in 2025 and Secretary Collins has just spoke about wanting to get the VA claims process so that veterans aren't waiting. They want to get their time frame down from 45 to 30 days. They are not going to spend a ton of time on it. So the good thing with ChatGPT is once you get ready and you upload everything, it will help guide you. It will help organize those. But you have to understand the claims process so that you can maximize ChatGPT, because if not, you're just going to get a bunch of information and you're going to submit a claim, that's going to get denied because the rater is going to look at it and go, cool, I have 450 pieces of paper and none of them make sense. They're not in logical order. So understand how you can tell your story so that limited amount of time that you get with the rater, that you can maximize it to not only get a yes, but to get the rating that you deserve. So where does AI fit into the claims process? So again, AI can help you research your conditions, understand secondary conditions, go out and organize your evidence for you. And again, it's a platform, so it's only going to recommend how to organize it, how to prepare your exam, prepare for your compensation and pension exam. I just made a video, the one before this one, on the compensation and pension exam, what to expect, how to act during, and then what to do after. So if you haven't watched that, it's going to be linked below. I would encourage you to go spend some time to understand the compensation and pension exam, because that's vital in your claim. And then how to write a clear personal statement. So again, I'm going to write my personal statement out, right? Because it is my life. So I'm going to type everything in there, and then I'm going to send that into ChatGPT, and I'm going to tell it, clean this up, make it concise, and help me to get the rater to understand my conditions. And ChatGPT will go do what ChatGPT does, and it will clean it up, and it'll make it look really nice. So it's important. We're going to do a video coming up on how to do personal statements. And the same thing, how to construct a draft Nexus letter. Again, I mentioned it briefly earlier, but we're going to take all my medical evidence, or some of it, I'm going to load it in, and I'm going to, the next video we're going to do is we're going to talk about your master prompt and how to script things, but I'm going to give ChatGPT a script, and I'm going to tell it, hey, I'm going to ask my doctor to write a Nexus letter. Can you take some of the information I provided? Can you help me to create a Nexus letter that I can provide to my doctor or my chiropractor or my therapist or whatever, that can help me get this claim service connected? So we'll talk about scripts and how to load all that, but you can do that. That way, when you ask your provider, you can give them this. And if you go into the links down at the very bottom of the description, you'll see that you can sign up and get our 4 free downloads. There will be a fifth, and that fifth is going to be the prompts and the scripts that you need. So it's imperative that you sign up so that you can get those. But the 4th email you're going to get is on the Nexus letter. So you give the package to the provider that explains what the Nexus letter is, but you can also give them a draft copy of a Nexus letter and just say, hey, here's a thought. If you like it, clean it up and sign it. Um, but if not, it'll give you, within the Nexus letter package, there's already 2 examples. Here's one of mine. So it, excuse me. So it is a way to help you, again, organize and put things into action. But the biggest mistake that veterans make is they simply will put things in there and then they will copy and paste the response that ChatGPT gets them. So if they go in and say, hey, make me a personal statement, I'm making a knee claim, or I've got headaches and migraines, I'm going to make a VA claim, write me a personal statement. It'll write a personal statement, but not all the information in there is correct or accurate or factual. So it's important that you just don't go, oh, that's a great answer, I'm going to copy and paste it. No, because a lot of times what will happen is, again, as a predictive tool, is it will assume, okay, you have migraines, which means if you have migraines, I've scoured the internet, I know the results. So I have aurora and I have this and I've got nauseousness and I've got it. But if I don't have the aurora or the changing colors, I don't want to put that in there because I don't want to add that into my personal statement. I don't want to add that into my DBQ for my medical provider that'll look at that if they were just to sign it. And now all of a sudden, because when I submit my evidence and then I go in and have my compensation and pension exam, if these 2 don't meet, I'm not credible, right? I don't want the VA to think I'm frauding them. I want to use ChatGPT to get me to that 85 to 90%. And at that point, I can look, I can delete things, I can add things, I can go, well, that's not correct. It's more like this, so I can go in and add that. But it's really great, again, if I go in and I do a personal statement and I just simply say, clean this up, make it make sense. And then when it kicks back an answer, and I can do it in Canvas, so, and I'll show you that in ChatGPT, but it can come back so I can download it as a PDF. I can download it as a Microsoft Word document, but I want to be able to make sure that when it comes back, that it is still factual and accurate. So don't just copy and paste information and, be like, well, chat told me that this is correct. You want it to get you to that 85 or 90%. You do the rest of the work. So what's the right way to use ChatGPT or any AI? You want to use it to help you clarify, structure, refine, identify gaps, and do a deep research dive of the internet. So those are the biggest ones that you want to use it for. I'm going to show you, most people don't know, and I think it's in the paid version. I'll have to go back and look to see if they've changed it. But you can have it do a deep dive research. And the cool thing about it is, if you go in and you type something, again, it being predictive, it's kind of like the internet. It will do a quick search of the internet and it will tell you, okay, like, here's what I found. But if I go in and I tell it to do a deep dive, right, it will scour the entire internet and it will come back. And not only will it come back, it will come back with answers, and it will have the sources that it got it from. So you're able to go through and look, okay, well, that's from a va.gov account or a website. That's from a lawyer's website. That's from some random person on the internet. Like maybe I don't want to trust that. So we're going to show you how to do a deep dive. And these are great because I'll give you an example. We've looked at moving potentially in the future to either Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, or Florida. So I went in, I selected deep research, and I told ChatGPT, I said, hey, I want you to provide me a product on a Microsoft Excel document that outlines the differences in all 4 of those states, the differences in the property taxes, the VA disability benefits for 100% service-connected disabled veteran, education benefits for spouses and dependents, and I don't know, like the average weather or something crazy. So I gave it a good amount of research to do. And it came back, and it probably took it 35 minutes. And it came back in a spreadsheet that I was simply able to open it up and be able to look at everything I wanted to do. Now, imagine if I would have went in. I would have had to have like 4 screens open, try to find the right, website, whether it's a state website or a realtor's website, and I'm trying to look through all these to go, what is the best, benefits for me and my family? Now, what it won't tell you is, well, I would recommend that you move to X state, right? It will tell you, um, like here's what I was able to find. And then you can click on the resource to be able to say, oh, okay, cool. That came from, you know, uh, whatever's Chamber of Commerce or, so you're able to look through those. So you're able to take complex things and put it into ChatGPT and then script it and tell it, here's what I'm looking for. And a lot of times you may not need a deep research, but if you want to do, if you're doing a claim, you can put it in there and tell it exactly what you are looking for and the answer that you're looking for. So those are the right way to use it. What it's not designed to do, and the wrong way to use it, is to think that it's going to replace your story or replace needing medical evidence or going to find it. It's not. Again, it is your story, it is your life. What the predictive tool or AI in general is, it doesn't know everything. It can't tell you real time. It won't go into all your VA records and look at things. That's not what it does, right? It will basically do the things that you tell it to do. And the cool thing is, in the next video, we're going to talk about how to set your master prompt. So you can go in and you can load a ton of information to include what you wanted to call you, how it responds to you, because again, ChatGPT is a yes man. Like its whole response will make you feel good. But if that's not what you're wanting, so in my master prompt, I have it between give me some empathy, but give me some straight talk. So when it responds to, it knows exactly what I'm looking for. So there are sometimes in my head, I think, well, that's a great idea. That'll work out perfectly. And ChatGPT will kindly tell me that's not a good idea, right? So that is a good thing. We'll show you that in the master prompt. So as you set your master prompt for your claims and you start talking about that, it knows to go in and look for the conditions that you tell it you have, or when you served, where you served, the different things that you can load in there. And if you don't know what it is, excuse me, go to our downloads. We're going to give you the prompts that you can use to help you use it more advanced. But it is such a great tool if you use it the right way and don't use it where you're just using it as a glorified Google. So I'll give you a simple analogy. AI is nothing more than a GPS. You go into your Google Maps or Bing or Waze or whatever, and you say, hey, I want to go to X address. It's going to get you there. It's probably going to give you, the fastest route to get there. But sometimes the fastest route is not always the best route. If you're out where I live, sometimes when you put an address in, it will take you down dirt roads. Lots of dirt roads, miles of gravel and dirt roads. And you can go beat up your car and then you get there and you're like, well, son of a bitch, I could have just went a mile the other way and been here 15 minutes before. So I'm still the driver. I'm still in control of, I'm going to tell ChatGPT what I want. It's going to give me a response back, and I'm the driver on what I use, what I don't use. If I don't like it, if it's not what I'm looking for, I can refine my comments back to it or my input back in my scripts until I can go through and get what I want. So again, don't go back to the common mistake of, okay, that must be good. I'm going to copy and paste it and use it. Again, I'm the driver. I don't like the answer. Maybe I want it more refined. Maybe it misinterpreted, or let's just be honest, I didn't tell it exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to go back through and go, I don't like that. Give me another version. And ChatGPT will do that for you. So don't assume that everything that when it comes back, it is perfect 100% where it needs to be. So here is the series that we're going to build. I mean, right now it's 15 videos. Somewhere along the line, this may get, some of these may get put, in together. So it may be a lot less, but I'm going to assume that there will probably be at least 10 or more videos in here. And you can see when we start talking about videos like 4 through 12, everything is using. So it's a lot of hands-on series in order to just attempt to take you like this video from the very beginning, right? Not understanding anything. So if you're a Chat GPT wizard and you're still watching this, thank you. Right. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, or if you're kind of medium in the middle and you're like, yeah, no shit, everybody knows that. Not everybody does, or I wouldn't be covering it. Right. But the goal is to take you from the very beginning stages and then grow it so that you're more advanced. Not that you're going to be a PhD level, professor at, Harvard on how to use ChatGPT, but you'll be good enough and more advanced enough to be able to understand, okay, I get it. Here's what I need to do. Here's what I need to input. Here's the scripts I need to give it. Here's the documents I'm going to drop in to give me the answer that I got to be able to build a stronger VA disability claim. So that is the goal of this entire series of using AI the right way to build a strong VA disability claim. So a lot of great information that's coming up that I'm looking forward to. Because I'm going to be honest, until the beginning of this year, I used ChatGPT as a glorified Google, and I thought, man, this chat thing is pretty freaking awesome. And then I started watching, hours and hours of videos trying to understand it, and I was like, dude, it's like using a smartphone for just the camera, and to text. If you want that, like, use a flip phone. Like, there's so much more to it. So the goal is to help you to understand in very, very simple terms so that in the end, you can use this to really build a strong claim while still maintaining the ethnical background, or the right ethics, where it is your story. It is not, a bullshit story with fraudulent claims because it sounds good. So what are the big takeaways? Again, AI and ChatGPT, it's a tool. It's a tool like using the VSO or a lawyer, which I don't recommend, or an accredited veterans agent, which I don't recommend. And the only reason I don't recommend them is because they take 20 to 33% of your back pay. But if you go out and use any one of those three people, right, that is a tool. The only thing that is not a tool is you doing it exactly yourself, or going to a library and checking out the Code of Federal Regulations and then learning it, studying it, and trying to interpret it yourself. Everything else that you use, the internet, it's all a tool to help you. So ChatGPT and AI is nothing different, right? It's just a more advanced tool than going to use Google. But it's not an automatic approval, again, because you must have a current diagnosis, current symptoms, and a nexus to a military in-service event, injury, illness, or condition. You have to have those. You must prove that to the VA. If you don't prove, all three of those, the VA is going to deny you, no matter how mastered that you've mastered the AI game. So it's important, again, to use it as a tool to strengthen your claim, not rely 100% on this is exactly, ChatGPT told me this is what I needed, so this is what I'm going to provide. Oh shit, I got denied. Like, screw ChatGPT. No, you can't. It's like using a VSO and you go, well, the VSO didn't tell me that I needed to provide anything. Screw them. No, it is your responsibility, your claim. It's your responsibility to understand how the VA claims process works so that you can utilize the tools to the maximum benefit that they provide. So go back and watch our videos on how to organize, on how to research, organize, gather, how the CMP exam is. Watch those videos and understand that so that when you use ChatGPT, it makes sense when you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I need to do. Because if not, it's just a tool. And you use it, you trust it, you don't understand the process, you submit it, your claim gets denied. And then you're pissed. So what I want you to do next, one, go to Amazon today, pick up our book, How to Make a Strong VA Disability Claim the First Time. Whether it's your first claim, second claim, 15th claim, you've been fighting for 35 years to try to get the benefit benefits you deserve, go pick up the book, because in 86 pages, it will break down. That's 86 pages of, a small book. It will break down everything that you need to know to build a strong VA disability claim. So hopefully, if it's not your first time, you'll get the book, you'll watch our videos, because you're going to subscribe to the channel, you're going to like, and you want to make sure that you hit the notification bell, so as we start to release all these on AI, so that you can start to step up your game. And your AI game is that you don't miss a video, is that you understand the process so that you can build strong claims and hopefully make it your last claim, because you've now understood the process and you build a claim that gets you the benefits that you deserve. And then lastly, go to the link at the very bottom of the page, sign up for our 4 free checklist, which there are 4 for now, but probably by next week, I will have a 5th, which will be all the prompts that you can use and you can tweak. Again, not every prompt you don't put in and you say, oh, that's the key one. Is I'll put them in and then I'll tweak it. I'll look at the answers and the responses that it gives me, and I'm like, it's not really what I'm looking for. Let me try this. Let me ask for this. Let me tell it this is what I need. So sign up for those, and they will come in 4 different emails. A 5th one once I add the scripts. So that's important to do that to really help your VA disability claim. So until next time, I want you to slow down. I want you to research, gather, and organize, and build a VA disability claim that the VA can't tell you no.